I put my heart in this box. They be like, y'all need to stop it. We swipe our card and they rob us. These promoters, these sharks and they partners. It's gonna be hard trying to stop us. Speaking for the fans when I say they offended me. But really, y'all part of the problem. Blinded by how you don't see the real enemy. You motherfucker be tempting me. Don't like your energy, you think you pimping me. Been fight for over 500 centuries, no penitentiary. I'm smoking plenty weed. I don't need no sympathy. Errol, Spence versus Crawford gon' be all the time. Regardless of who win or lose, they still gon' be in the Hall of Fame. So I ain't even in my feelings. Regardless of the rain, I'm chillin'. Numb to the pain, no feeling. Can't do the same dope feeling. We're guilty, but I ain't no villain. Lost my top, so it ain't no ceiling. Rhyme versus Tank, despite I'm not feeling. Cause we already know that Tank gon' kill him. I wanna see Tank versus Devin Haney. Even Frank Moore. What about Shakur? Boxing is not a sport that we can afford. Cause we know that rich people ride the poor. This I cannot ignore. I never been shot before. The pain is burning inside. My people died. It's just like a hunter who shot a bull. Damn. I put my heart in this box. They be like, y'all need to stop it. We swipe our card and they rob us. These promoters, the sharks and they partners. It's gonna be hard trying to stop us. Speaking for the fan when I say they offended me. But really, y'all part of the problem. Blinded by her, you don't see the real enemy.
What it do, what it do? It's 903 Boxing. I'm your host, Charles J. Say, man, shout out to my audience. Shout out to those that's rocking with me. And yeah, we back in the kitchen. There's a whole lot of goddamn sauce in this pot, man. Let's get to the shit. It ain't over. It ain't over. Listen, I am a product of my environment. However you motherfuckers act, that's how I'm gonna come back with you. You come at me with some aggressive shit, I'm gonna come back aggressive. You come at me in a peaceful way, shit can be real peaceful, bro. I'm a peaceful man. But when it's war, I'm there, bro. I'm front line. I don't give a fuck. Listen, and to all you Bud enthusiasts, listen, I don't know if you know this. Don't know how long you've been following me, but if you have been following me for a long time, you should know that I was one of the main content creators that have always spoke up for Bud. I never said he was ducking. I said the world shitted on Bud. I said Spence fans was wrong for starting this bullshit campaign like who is Bud fault and Bud is a hype job and all this and that. I said the world was wrong for how they done him. I said that. I spoke up for him. I said Bud is not ducking Spence. He ain't born that shit. He ain't born no fighter in boxing, bro. And I said Spence wasn't ducking Bud. So I've never really shitted on Bud. Ever. Never really done it. But listen, bro, you done did about 6 victory laps. You been all over the country. Let me tell you something. You've toured more than Barack Obama. Bud Crawford has been everywhere. It's well deserved. Well deserved. But you know, but I just don't know. Between you, Canelo, and Jamel, y'all starting to be the Three Stooges. I said Tank, Devin, and Shakur have become the Three Stooges because neither one of them are fighting each other. And it's a bunch of bullshit, and you motherfuckers talking outside of boxing like this some street shit, and you motherfuckers are street. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the landscape, Jamel is not even really talking about I got to get through Canelo first. He's already talking about me and Terrence Crawford gonna fight. As if Terrence Crawford is finna beat Errol again. See, we gonna talk real shit. Jamel is talking like Bud gon', and he'll try to throw that little shit back, but this my brother, and I want him to win the rematch, and he can win. But you're already talking like Bud gonna beat him again, bro. So you talking as if you gonna already beat Canelo and Spence is already gonna lose to Bud. You already predicting shit, and you not preparing for Canelo. I'm telling you, Canelo is gonna be ready. I'm telling you right now, this is his this is like a redemption fight for Canelo. They gonna act like he beat the baddest motherfucker on. They ain't gonna talk about that 2-weight divisions if he knock you out. They is not gonna bring up 2-weight divisions. Casual fans ain't gonna know nothing about that. For all casual fans know, they in the same weight class, and Canelo knocked out this black fighter that was supposed to be the shit. And he gonna be back. Viva Mexico and all that other shit. And all that shit. And I'm telling you, they're gonna say he back the greatest and he better than Floyd if he knock out Jamel. So Jamel, you need to focus on that. Canelo, he talking about fighting Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford talking about fighting Canelo, moving up 3 weight divisions. Listen, brother, Terrence Crawford is the best fighter on earth. Canelo ain't even on his level. Let's just talk that. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if Jamel is. I think Jamel is a tougher fight. Jamel more athletic. The athleticism would definitely be a problem. The athleticism and the explosiveness. And Jamel is very unpredictable with his punches. So Jamel is a much more dangerous fight. Canelo is not even in the league of Terrence Crawford. I don't think Canelo is even better than Jamel, but with the 2 weight divisions and with that boy meat and all that testosterone, it's going to be some shit. Canelo can look superior and spectacular when he get that right shit in his system. But this ain't about Canelo and this ain't about Jamel. But I'm just saying, it's a lot of fighters that's overlooking shit. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, Spence has been put on the back burner. And at this point, fans have labeled him a hype job without saying it. You motherfucker, Spence is a hype job. Everybody say it's going to be the same result. It's going to be the same result. Let me tell you something. Styles do make fights. And maybe, just maybe, Bud just got Spence's number. But let me tell you something. That don't mean you finna just destroy him in the rematch, bro. There would not be a repeat. And I gotta talk this, bro. Some shit just ain't gonna be a repeat, bro. It is a lot of factors. Bud may just be a better fighter and he may just go in the rematch and he's a better fighter. But it's a lot of factors that come into fighting. For one, Derrick James or Errol Spence did not prepare for the southpaw stance. They did not prepare for that right jab. Never in history of the training camp did they ever say, what if Bud come out southpaw and fight southpaw? They was not prepared for it. They were prepared for orthodox. Because Terrence Crawford come out orthodox in most of his fights. They did not prepare for. I doubt he even sparred a southpaw. Number 2, Derrick James completely did underestimate Bud. He underestimated him, and I've mentioned that. He underestimated the craftiness of Bud. That's the biggest shit. He didn't think Bud was that crafty. He didn't think Bud was that strong. He underestimated the power of Bud. A lot of shit. And I think Spence did too. Let me tell you something. Spence is much smarter than how he fought. Let me tell you something, the mentality of how Spence fought. And like I said, he looked lethargic and a lot of other shit. And he looked like he had smoked some of that sour diesel when he was headed to the locker room. But anyway, Spence crafty too. He's just not as athletic as and elusive as Bud. Spence is very crafty. See, a lot of people don't talk this. I understand fighters, bro. Spence has fought every fight different. He's not the same. He do the same jab. Yeah, you know he gonna come with the jab. You know he gonna go to the body, but he fight fighters different. He fight fighters different. He wasn't cautious at all against Bud. Spence went in there as if Bud ain't punching like that. Spence went in there as if he's finna walk through Bud and absorb whatever he throw and just overpower him. That looked like that was the game plan. That was the strategy, is to just jab my way in, hooks to the body, and just push you and just dog you. That looked like the game plan. Let me tell you something. When you look at Spence when he fought Danny Garcia, coming off a car wreck, he was way more cautious. He was more cautious of Danny's left hook than he was of Bud's power. He didn't fight Bud. I'm not saying back up and move around a lot. And no, you can walk him down. But I've seen Spence walk you down and be more cautious. He was even more cautious with Kell Brook when he walked him down because he respected Kell Brook's power. He respected Danny Garcia's left hook. Didn't respect Bud's power. That goes to the coaching and the team. I don't know. Whatever it was that I don't know. But y'all definitely underestimated his power. I don't know why y'all done that shit. I guess y'all thought that 10-win knockout streak was just some fluke shit. And I really think Errol Spence also criticism to him and Derrick James. they both underestimated him because they felt like his resume. Spence really felt like Bud resume wasn't nothing compared to his. He felt like he fought tougher competition, and you ain't fought the competition. That ain't got nothing to do with the talent. Who he fought ain't got nothing to do with the talent of Bud. So Spence learned a valuable lesson. On your biggest night, you underestimated your opponent. On the biggest stage, you completely you was too confident. You should have been more cautious, still confident, but more cautious, especially of them looping punches. And he didn't realize that with Bud's long arm, he can loop around you, bro, and catch on the side of your head. Got long arms. So it's a lot of things, bro. And I'm finna tell you it's not the biggest factor, but it's almost as big as underestimating Bud and the game plan. The game plan was a huge factor, but I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest factors of the fight. This would have changed the entire fight. Errol Spence's power was not there. In the second round, I seen Spence hit Terrence Crawford flush with an overhand left on the temple. Bud walked right through it. Let me tell you something. And to y'all, and I think Bud got a granite chin. I think Spence and Bud got a granite chin. Spence kept getting up. And Spence walked through a lot of them hard shots that Bud threw. He didn't just drop every time Bud hit him with a hard shot. Spence walked through a lot of that shit. Spence got a hell of a chin, you know. Bud do too. But let me tell you something, bro. Spence is punching much harder than Porter. Spence is punching much harder than Kell Brook. Spence is punching much harder than Evis Kavaliauskas. Let's just go to Sean Porter. I ain't even gonna talk about Evis Kavaliauskas because we all seen that he rocked. But a lot of people didn't realize Sean Porter rocked Bud several times in that fight. I'm talking about rocked him and staggered him. His punching power was moving Bud. I'm talking about had him staggering. It is several times in that Sean Porter fight where the power of Sean Porter, when he hit Bud, he moved him. There was no punch that Errol Spence threw where he moved Bud. There was not one punch in the entire fight that moved Bud. His strength, there was no strength in his punches, bro. That's nothing you can tell me, bro. There's no way that Bud walks through Errol Spence's punching power. No way. Not saying soon as Spence hit him, but the punching power of Errol Spence can change a fight. And one thing I know about Bud, two things gonna happen. One thing gonna happen when you hit Bud hard. He gonna get more aggressive, but he gonna get more dangerous. But when Bud get more dangerous, he's more vulnerable. That's how Kavaliauskas still kept catching him, even though Bud destroyed him. Even in the midst of destroying him, he had to run through some hard shots. And Bud got that mentality. If you hit me with some hard shit and wobble me, I'm coming for you. He did the same thing to Sean Porter. He started walking him down aggressively. And when Bud walk you down aggressively and get in the southpaw stance, he's vulnerable. He can be hit flush. So nobody's talking about the punching power is one of the biggest keys and factors to this fight. Errol Spence's punching power. We act like we forgot that shit. We just act like we forgot. Errol Spence punch hard. I think Bud is a harder punch. I think Bud is a more effective puncher. The way he places shots and they quicker, it's snappier. But Spence is a solid, hard puncher. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody besides Crawford and Boots punching like Spence. And like I said, I've seen lesser punchers rock Bud. He's been rocked by punches that don't hit near as hard as Spence. Spence punch hard, bro. So that is a real big factor that nobody is talking about. At 154, I think, I'm telling you right now, Bud gonna feel his power. The power will be a huge factor. The strength will be a huge factor. And let me tell you something else. Bud may be stronger. He may just, because that motherfucker a wrestler and he just a natural, that motherfucker don't know his own strength. I think that motherfucker could lift a well. But anyway, he's strong as shit, but Spence is much stronger than what we saw. Moving Spence around like that, let me tell you something. Bud didn't move Sean Porter around like that. Sean Porter is not stronger than Spence. These are factors we gotta talk. Bud did not throw Man, in the second round when he threw Spence and Spence staggered back, that was the most shocking tale of the entire fight. It was more shocking than any knockdown. In the second round, when Spence leaned in to try to bully Bud and Bud pushed Spence and Spence went damn near across the ring, that was the most shocking fact. And he never did that to Sean Porter. I never seen him push Kell Brook back like that. Something was going on with his punching power and his strength. So, 154, the punching power, I believe, will be there. It will be there. The strength will be there. But also, what's more important than the strength and the power is also the game plan. Which leads me to Derrick James. I'm just going to say this and I'm going to get off this motherfucker. All these rumors of Spence firing Derrick James, I don't believe it. I think they share a bond. Listen, bro, this is a situation where they both fucked up. They both underestimated. Derrick James completely underestimated the coaching skills of Bomac. Bomac's game plan was one of the greatest game plans I've seen in a fight. That was one of the greatest game plans I've seen in a fight. Bomac deserved a lot of credit. And like I said, they both underestimated the team of Terrence Crawford, in my opinion. But I know one thing. Like I said, all this shit, he fired Derrick James. I don't believe it, and I don't think he should. But I think the strategy is very important in this rematch. The strategy and the versatility. I'm going to tell you another thing we never saw Spence do. Because like I said, he fight different in different fights. In the Ugas fight, he was throwing them short-ass uppercuts and them short hooks. Because nobody talk. Spence got the hardest short shots in boxing to me. His short punches hurt. And he never on the inside caught Spence with them, Bud with them hard short shots. He was throwing short shots to the body, hooks to the body, but he wasn't throwing them short uppercuts. But it's gonna be a good fight, in my opinion. And also, when you talk about hype job, to say that Bud is gonna do the exact same thing to Spence is because Bud didn't make Sean Porter look like that. He haven't made no opponent at welterweight look as bad as he made Spence look. So there's no way you can tell me that's the best version of Spence. And if that's the best version of Spence, then Spence ain't who we say he is. And I don't believe that. I believe Spence is much better than what he showed in that fight. Because if Spence is easy work like that to Bud, then that means Spence he's not elite on that level. He's not elite. You don't beat an elite fighter like that. Bud wouldn't have done Ugas like that. Ugas would have put up a better performance than that. And it's no diss to Bud. Bud, you done your thing. But at the same time, I'm going to say what I feel, bro. Spence is a much better fighter than what he showed. Much better. And he punching much harder than what he was punching. Them punches was bouncing right off Bud gloves. Spence known for punching through your shit. Even when you got the high guard, he punched through that. So we gonna see. But anyway, shout out to Errol Spence, shout out to Derrick James, and y'all will bounce back, bro. Y'all both learning how the world will turn on you and try to divide you against each other. But yeah, this is 903 Boxing. I'm your host, George J. With that, I'm out.